All right, folks, go ahead and start just kind of keeping an eye on a couple of different storms that are moving across central Illinois now so far. None severe in our immediate area, and any warnings that were in place to our southeast have been dropped. One area of concern is going to be an outflow boundary or some sort of boundary that is now lifting its way back to the north and west, and its interaction with these storms coming out of Fulton, Mason, and Tazewell counties. This could lead to the formation of some brief funnel clouds, possibly even some brief tornadoes. So something to keep an eye on. Primary threats tonight remain damaging winds up to 70 miles per hour, perhaps some hail, and of course that ongoing flash flood threat with storms training on top of what is already very saturated soils. Nothing too organized as far as the velocity is concerned with any rotation. And again, the tornadoes that we have had reported have been, we had one just northeast of Mahomet, and we had a tornado warning in effect for extreme southeastern parts of DeWitt County. So the storms that I'm currently more interested in are Mason, Fulton, and Tazewell counties for the time being. Also keeping an eye on some of the stuff in eastern McLean and southeastern Livingston County. That stronger cell north of Monticello, just southeast of Mahomet, has been spawning multiple funnel clouds, according to our sister station WCIA in Champaign. That storm is generally moving to the northeast, so it won't impact us directly. Our main issue would be with any storms coming that are now developing across Tazewell, Fulton, and McLean counties, along with Mason County. We've got meteorologist Adam Sherwinski heading out in the mobile storm tracker. He'll report what he is seeing out there. I'll see if I'll pull up the stream here and see if I can answer any of your questions. We'll keep an eye on the city of Peoria. Right now, these storms are set to pass just to the east of Peoria, right along the river eastward. But it is worth watching. Unfortunately, this is not it as far as the storms go tonight. We expect a lot more activity to come in from the northwest, or from the southwest, excuse me. You can see all these thunderstorms down here. All of this will be moving in tonight. So there's certainly potential for those to become severe. Otherwise, the main concern is going to be flash flooding tonight, as we see this all running over what has already been very saturated soils. Central Illinois in particular has picked up over the last 2 days, widespread 1 to 3 inches of rain. But up north, we had about 3 to 5 inches up here last night, and then we've had 2 to 4 inches across far eastern McLean and eastern parts of Livingston County. So any additional rain, especially in those areas, is going to cause some problems when it comes to flash flooding. You can see the general storm motion with these, again, not severe. Moving to the northeast with that one at about 29 miles per hour, puts it near Minear at 658, Stanford 708. This one near Havana 702. And again, sub-severe at this point in time. But as they continue to grow, we could see the severity of these storms increase. Severe thunderstorm watch is in effect through 11 p.m. tonight for all the counties shaded in pink. That includes Fulton, Peoria, Woodford, Livingston, McLean, Tazewell, Mason, Logan, DeWitt, and Schuyler counties. I have sent meteorologist Adam Sherwinski to southeast Tazewell County, out near the Hopedale, Minear, and Stanford areas. So we're targeting this area right now with him. Again, those storms are not severe, but we're seeing the activity kind of picking up here with more lightning strikes out of the storm in Mason County. Here's FUTURETRACK through the rest of tonight. You can see how these storms will kind of behave more or less through the rest of this evening. So we continue to see the storms expanding, potentially becoming severe, but again, notice where they're more or less focused here. They're, along and east of the Illinois River and about towards I-74. Of course, there's more activity north of there that bears watching as well. And then they lift to the northeast through midnight, out near Pontiac, Bloomington, Normal, but producing some very heavy rain in the process. After midnight, I think the storm coverage is going to decrease a bit, and that will then kind of set the stage for tomorrow, which could be in for another round of severe thunderstorms. I will loop this for the last 45 minutes. Speed that up a little bit. You can see how the storms are generally moving to the east and northeast. Speeds are around 30 miles per hour. And there you can see what was left of the one tornado warning we had earlier. With these storms coming through, right now they're just effective rain producers, but you are getting some pretty heavy rain moving across northern Mason County and southwestern parts of Tazewell County. Rain rate product, you can see where the heaviest rain is falling, and you can see the instantaneous rates. Again, these are unrealistic amounts, but gives you a sense of how hard the rain is coming down. So if it were to rain if this storm were to rain at this rate for an hour, you'd end up with that much rain. In the end, you're probably going to end up with a quick ½ to an inch of rain in an hour, but that will probably continue to get worse as more storms come in from the south. So just in the last 3 hours, we can see what we've picked up so far out of these thunderstorms. And again, there's an inch there, south of Tremont. That's going to be near Delavan, Green Valley, Oakdale. So ½ inch to an inch of rain there within an hour's time or so. Now let's take a look at our camera view. This is in normal. We'll do a camera tour. And we'll leave this live stream up. No warnings are active right now, but we're going to leave this live stream up so when things do happen, it's easier to get on air for all of us involved. And so, if you have your weather radio on, you can come back to this live stream. We also, I believe, have it up on our CI Proud to Go weather app and on our CI Proud news app and our website, ciproud.com. So be sure to check those out. You can see the developing storms off in the distance from Peoria. Look in the opposite direction. Probably won't see a whole lot there, but we do have increasing clouds. Raining in Hartsburg, thunder, Hannah City. So these storms should continue to grow in coverage over the next couple of hours. Areas along and east of the Illinois River are most likely to see them. And the real focus for heavier rain is going to be Woodford, Tazewell, Mason, Logan, DeWitt, and McLean counties tonight. Folks are asking if Peoria is clear. No, Peoria is not clear tonight. We are under severe thunderstorm watch through 11 o'clock. None of these storms are currently severe. Take a look with these storms moving east of into eastern Livingston County. Those might be of some interest. We'll see what those do. Those are developing on a similar boundary, and that continues to push to the north and northwest. If you're asking about projected time, probably within an hour for Woodford County. Tazewell, McLean, these storms are already underway, so from here through the end of the, through 11 p.m. for severe weather. Let me run by, here's FUTURETRACK again for tonight. And it seems to be handling the current situation fairly well. Storm coverage might be a little underrepresented, but I think through 8 o'clock we're going to see storms really becoming widespread south of a Macomb to Pontiac line. And then notice it just gets even more widespread through 10 o'clock. Yeah, but when it comes to flash flooding, it's this training motion. It's the fact that storms will run over the same areas over and over again, and that's what's going to lead to the flash flood potential. After midnight, the stronger storms are east of us. We'll have some showers to contend with early tomorrow morning, but things should improve throughout the night. Take this down. So back here in Tazewell, Ford, Iroquois County, these areas up here, and then out down here towards Champaign as well. These storms have had some supercellular characteristics with them. This looks to not have the same characteristics, but we'll see if we can get some isolated or embedded supercells within that. Otherwise, right now for Tazewell, especially southern Tazewell County, frequent cloud-to-ground lightning and heavy rain is the main concern at this point in time. But there's the bulk of the rain. It's still well to the southwest of us, and that's all moving northeast. If you are watching on our live streams throughout tonight, something to keep in mind is that whatever you hear me say is likely delayed by 1 to 2 minutes. So just something to keep in mind as we get through this. Your best thing when we actually start getting some active warnings, especially if we get tornado warnings and we start going wall to wall with coverage if need be, which I hope we don't need to do so tonight. But if we do need to do that, the best thing to do to stay up with the forecast in a timely manner is to watch over the air, because that is only delayed by 5 seconds. But watching over a live stream, it is going to be delayed by at least 1 to 2 minutes. If you don't have it already, another good source for information is the CI Proud to Go weather app. So be sure to check that out in your app store today. It is now equipped with live streaming capabilities, location-based warnings, and our exclusive VIPIR alerts, which will alert you ahead of time before tornado warnings typically are issued and severe thunderstorm warnings are issued. Tonight's main concern, I know we've got the severe thunderstorm watch that is still in effect, but we also need to watch out for flash flooding. So flash flood watch continues through 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, and we are expecting additional rounds of heavy rain tonight. Here's a look at some rainfall reports. We've got a more complete list on our website, but here's the rainfall report since yesterday. Providence, which is up in Bureau County, reported 5 inches there. 3 to 5 inches was fairly common across Stark, Bureau, Henry, and Knox County last night. Tonight's main concern for flash flooding is going to be the area shaded in red there. So that's that moderate risk for flash flooding. This is separate from the Storm Prediction Center's severe weather forecast. This is strictly a hydraulic or a rainfall forecast, excessive rainfall. So the risk of excessive rain, flash flooding, is within this red area. That's a moderate risk. And our Storm Prediction Center, they give you the best chances for severe storms, again, just off to our south. But a good chunk of our counties are still included within that severe thunderstorm watch. I know our watch runs through 11. I have our risk going through about 2 a.m. Up through our northern counties. Tornadoes are possible. 1-inch diameter hail is possible. 70-mile-per-hour winds possible. And flash flooding is likely. A few folks posed the question to me asked why are we getting all of this rain? Because if you look at the forecast, it just seems to rain every day. So we've got this upper level trough that is kind of parked itself across the northern Rockies and the northern plains. A lot of moisture feeding into this, coming in from the south, but also from the west. And as we go forward in time, the jet stream and that upper level trough never really moves. And keep in mind, this jet stream is a conveyor belt for storm systems and weak disturbances. And so as systems ride this jet stream down and around and tops the ridge that is sitting to our south, it'll kick off additional storms, and there's no shortage of tropical moisture. So anytime we get a wave coming through, it's going to produce some very effective rain-producing thunderstorms. And so without a complete air mass change, the storm chances are more or less going to continue for the foreseeable future. And now we do know the storm coverage probably decreases a bit as we get through the middle part of next week. It'll become a little more hit and miss as opposed to widespread. So that is why I had a few folks reach out asking about that. That is why we're getting it. All right, getting some more organized rotation now in southeastern Livingston County. This storm is just south of Fairbury, south of Forest and Chatsworth, so that's going to be worth watching. It is very broad rotation, but there is something in there. So again, we got these are what we call miniature supercells. They're small. But due to the low cloud bases and the shear along this boundary that these storms are firing on, there's a boundary here, and it's moving generally to the north and northwest. You can get some extra wind shear along that can lead to the formation of funnel clouds and tornadoes. So that'll be something to continue to watch. Again, no active warnings on that cell currently. Now that boundary cuts back through this cell moving into Tazewell County, and that's currently the strongest cell in the viewing area. Still appears to be an effective rain producer. Looks like we may have had some sort of microburst or downburst here. We got wind moving away from the radar site here and towards the radar site here. So I wouldn't be surprised if you've seen some strong winds, maybe picking up in the Green Valley area with some of this heavy rain coming in. And back towards Havana. Similar features, very heavy rain, some gusty winds embedded within that rain. And so far, nothing for Peoria. But these storms will eventually make their way into town. It's just a matter of time. Keeping an eye on multiple computers here. I won't be talking constantly until we get some warnings, but just know I'm still here, and I'll be checking frequently to answer some questions that you may have. Looks like the hail risk with that storm in Tazewell still low, but could be increasing. Still appears to be mainly rain at this point. See if we can do a 3D slice of this thunderstorm here. And there is some hail up there. You can see the darker returns up here. There's some hail. It's around 30 to 20,000 feet. And so there is some hail up there towards the top of this thunderstorm. I don't think the radar is hitting the complete top of this cell yet. It's kind of close to the radar site. So those storm tops easily probably over 50,000 feet. But there is some hail being lofted up there in the top of that thunderstorm. It'd be worth watching. And that's in southern Tazewell County. Brian's asking what direction of the storms moving. Storms are moving to the northeast at about east-northeast at about 30 miles per hour. So that is the direction storm. That is the storm motion. Tony asking weather radio mentioned risk for severe risk tomorrow and Sunday. Yes. So yes, severe weather is possible both days, and yes, the amount of clearing will help depend how severe that threat is. I do think we're going to see some clearing tomorrow. I am concerned that we could see, right now we are in a marginal risk for severe weather tomorrow. Let me bring that up. Okay. So this is a widespread marginal risk for severe weather. I wouldn't be surprised if that gets upgraded. And I think we're going to see, if I had to pinpoint an area that gets strong severe thunderstorms tomorrow, it is in this region of our viewing area. So that's kind of my main area of concern for tomorrow. Models either show storms firing along the Illinois River or I-55. If they form along I-55 and then move east, the severe weather threat is not going to last long for our viewing area. Obviously, if it fires up along the river, then it's going to be traversing at least through half the region. So that'll be something to keep an eye on. Residual outflow boundaries from tonight's activity and the amount of sunshine we can get tomorrow morning will play a role in that. For Sunday, yes, here's the SPC outlook for Sunday. More severe thunderstorms are also possible. Depending on there's a lot more questions with Sunday's outlook, so I haven't really been focusing much on that. As for today, SPC has their tornado possible here further south. Again, we're kind of keeping an eye on storms. The way these work is if any point within 25 miles of the edge of this line is how that buffer zone works. So that would include Peoria, Pontiac, Canton, and Macomb. Wind threat is highest south of I-74, and hail possible but not necessarily likely anywhere locally. A notable lightning jump in Tazewell County, so we're seeing a lot more lightning activity. And it looks like we might be starting to see some of that hail getting down to the surface. I'm going to circle it right here. That is your hail core. That hail core is about 3 miles southwest of Delavan. VIPIR is estimating, we might get a warning out of this, hold on. Not yet. VIPIR is estimating hail that's 2.5 inches in diameter, but that's likely way too big. They always overestimate. That's probably going to be closer to nickel to quarter-sized hail at this point. So we may get a severe thunderstorm warning in Tazewell County soon. Delavan, you can see the estimated time of arrival for you. That is 7:21 p.m. I will draw my own little storm track for this, moving to the east at 30 miles per hour. You can see the estimated time of arrival there. Delavan 7:13, Hopedale 7:28, and Minear 7:38. That's if it's moving at 30 miles per hour. Let me see what VIPIR's got it clocked at. VIPIR's got it clocked at 26, so I've rounded it up. That's fine. Let's see if we can get a few more locations included within that. There you go. Armington 737. Sutter Lucas, I don't know if those are towns or townships, but there you go, around 7:30. And Minear 7:38. Not seeing any rotation. Maybe some gusty winds right on the leading edge. There's probably a pretty good looking shelf cloud with this if you're in San Joe's looking north or Emden looking northwest. If you're in those areas and have pictures, be sure to submit them to us through our CI Proud to Go weather app. You can also post them to our social media pages. Again, we currently have no severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for anywhere in our viewing area. I want to check back in over here with the stuff in Tazewell County. You mentioned earlier this stuff had shown some signs of rotation. Still there, but it is quite broad. But we're still watching, keeping an eye on this activity. That is now between Forest and Chatsworth. Non-severe, some weak broad rotation, not unusual for storms like this. I know the Weather Service in Chicago is watching that one. I'm going to ask Adam to send me a picture once he gets in front of that cell. If you are getting some hail out of that cell, please let us know too in southern Tazewell. That'd be quite helpful. Our hail swath, if you are in these areas, south of Green Valley, if you've got hail, San Jose, Delavan, let us know. That'll be helpful. That's where hail is most likely to have fallen out of this thunderstorm. Hail in South Pekin, Austin Childs, thank you. If you have an estimated size, that'll be helpful as well. Austin mentioning 1-inch size hail in South Pekin. Is that, how far from South Pekin? Because I'm not seeing, I don't see that kind of hail signature out of that there. Got rain moving into Tremont. Again, nothing severe there. Starting to see some broad rotation with this cell, south of Havana, due east of Bath. I will circle it for you. It's very, very weak, but it is present. All right, thanks for the report, Austin. Right now, the worst of this is going to be moving through southeast Tazewell County from San Jose, Delavan, Hopedale, Minear, out towards Stanford. Meanwhile, further east in McLean County, we've got some thunderstorms starting to fire up again in eastern McLean, and keeping an eye on these thunderstorms in southeast parts of Livingston, east of Pontiac, southeast of Pontiac. Could be looking at some gusty winds now pushing through southern Tazewell County, south of Delavan. San Jose, looks like you might be getting a good push of wind out there. Shearway product kind of highlighting that area where we could have some strong wind gusts between Delavan and San Jose. me play this back a little bit here. See there, this is the general storm motion moving to the northeast. So if they hold, they'll move into the Twin Cities probably around 8:15, 8:30. Still monitoring some broad rotation there in Mason County. A couple of storms there's 3 storms that I'm more focused on right now. I'm going to circle them for you. We've got this one moving just southeast of, or just east of Havana. This one in southern Tazewell. And then this one back here in Livingston are currently the 3 cells I'm currently paying attention to the most. Stuff moving into Peoria is not a concern for the time being. But there is a lot more rain on the way. Adam just drove through the storm. I'm seeing if I can get some report. He mentions he could see the shelf cloud out of that. For those who are just tuning in, we're going to keep this live stream up throughout the evening, and we will be checking in from time to time, but we do have a severe thunderstorm watch that is in effect through 11 o'clock tonight. I won't be talking nonstop until we get some warnings issued, but we do have this up, so you can always come back to it, leave it up running if you need be. But we'll be here for some information. Clear this out. Might be seeing some slightly better rotation now with the storm in Mason County. It's still weak, but it's there. And if you have any hail pictures from southern Tazewell County, please feel free to let us know and send them in. We'd appreciate it. Quarter-sized hail in Delavan. I'll forward that off to the Weather Service. I'll take a slice of this thunderstorm, cut right through the... There's still a lot of hail up there, so we may get a warning out of this. There's hail holding between 20 and 30,000 feet. And you'll see this gradually start falling down to the surface. Again, meteorologist Adam Sherwinski is following this. He mentions he can see a shelf cloud. He's trying to stay ahead of it. Main concern would be hail and localized wind gusts with these storms across Tazewell County. Shear rate product here will highlight some of the areas of stronger wind. So Minear, back through the Armington area, and then Delavan, the San Joes, and points in between. That is where you're going to see some of the stronger wind gusts. One thing to keep in mind, there's a lot of wind turbines out here, and that's what you're seeing out here. That does interfere with the radar a little bit, so we could get some signatures will get a little bit messy as these storms move in. I'm going to look at some higher scans to try to get above it. I am seeing here some mid-level rotation in Logan County, now that we're getting above the turbines. And then there's some more mid-level rotation out here. It's not alarming, but it is there. It's typical for supercells. We'll see if that tightens up. Looks like we've got a pretty good hail producer in southern Tazewell, northern Logan County right now. And we've had reports of quarter-sized hail in Delavan. Switch back to, yep. Okay. So far in far eastern Livingston County, it's like near Cullum and Chatsworth, some heavy rain moving in, but it does not appear to be, it doesn't have the same type of signature that it had earlier, so that one seems to be weakening a little bit. And we are getting a severe thunderstorm warning, so severe thunderstorm warning now in effect for Macon, Logan, and Tazewell counties, this one through 8 o'clock tonight. You're going to see it populate here in just a second. There it is. All right, severe thunderstorm warning now for Tazewell and Logan counties through 8 p.m., quarter-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. Somebody in the control room? We're going to be doing a cut-in very shortly, folks. All right, just let me know when you guys are ready to go. So we'll be doing a brief cut-in, and then we'll come back to continue our live stream. But a severe thunderstorm warning is in effect now for southern Tazewell, northern Logan County, this until 8 p.m. Quarter-sized hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds are the primary threat. This storm is moving east at 25 miles per hour. Now we'll run the timing of it here. Storm moving east at 25. Here's the estimated time of arrival. Emden 726, Armington 735, Hartsburg 735, Funks Grove 754, Shirley 756, McLean 759, Lawndale is 758. Oh, I can hear him. Thank you. All right. Let me.
Are you ready to go right now?
Yep. Almost. Hold on one second. Yes, just chroma key. Thank you.
Yes.
All right, folks. We're going to do a quick cut in here. That's why the screen went black.
1 second.
But we're still with you. Good to go. Good evening. I'm your local weather authority, Chief Meteorologist Chris Yates. Severe thunderstorm warning is in effect now for southern Tazewell, northern Logan County. This warning runs us through 8 o'clock tonight. This thunderstorm has been producing quarter-sized hail. We did get a report of quarter-sized hail out near Delavan earlier today. Within the last 15 to 20 minutes. So storm is moving generally in an easterly direction. That is going to take it into southwestern parts of McLean, southeastern parts of Tazewell, and far northern parts of Logan County. Again, quarter-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds are our primary threat. We'll show you where the wind speeds are the strongest. Currently showing up on velocity is going to be on the leading edge of this, but mainly now down through the San Jose, Delavan area across far southern Tazewell is where we've had some of those stronger winds so far. See if we can zoom in a little bit closer to that area of concern. That is going to be your primary concern for some damaging winds moving into the Emden area. San Jose, the worst of the stronger winds would now be behind you. Meanwhile, Delavan, you had some heavier or at least some gusty winds earlier and some hail. Again, we had some reports of about quarter-sized hail coming out of this thunderstorm, which helped prompt this severe thunderstorm warning. We'll set up the radar again just to remind you folks we are not done. There is a lot more rain coming in out of the south that will be worth watching as we go through tonight. This is going to continue to prompt a risk for some flash flooding, damaging winds, and some brief isolated tornadoes, all of which would be worth watching throughout this evening. We've got a live stream up on our CI Proud to Go weather app, on our Facebook pages, as well as CIProud.com and our CI Proud to Go news app. Be sure to check it out for continuing coverage. We'll be back on if we need to cut in again or if we get a tornado warning. For WMBD, WIZZ, and CI Proud to Go, I'm Chief Meteorologist Chris Yates. All right, we are back. Thank you, folks. Severe thunderstorm warning. Again, that continues until 8 p.m. Getting quite a bit of lightning out of these thunderstorms. We may actually have a pretty good view now of these storms as they start to push into Bloomington. So I'm going to switch over to our Bloomington camera. There's a view from our East Peoria cam towards downtown. And here's our Bloomington cam. We'll see if we can get a better look from our normal camera. It looks like that camera, our normal camera, is actually down, unfortunately. So we'll keep an eye on this activity as it moves closer to Bloomington. But for now, Bloomington is not included within the severe thunderstorm warning. It looks like the worst is going to pass just to your south. Some strong wind gusts on the leading edge of this, again, moving into the Emden area. That's where you could see some of those 60-mile-per-hour gusts. No rotation here. The wind is splitting apart here. So that is a good classic downburst of very heavy rain and hail. Again, we've had some hail reports. You can see the hail swath here. Quarter-size hail reported in Delavan. And if you have any reports, please let us know and send in some pictures. It's always helpful. The other storm we were monitoring in Mason County is not looking as good on radar as it was a while ago. And we're keeping an eye on the storms now pushing through southeastern parts of McLean County. Only warning in central Illinois right now is this one in southern Tazewell, northern Logan County. That warning again goes until the top of the hour. Good deal of lightning with the storm as well. Jacob Henderson asking about Peoria. No, Peoria is not done. We have a lot more thunderstorms heading our direction. Let me zoom out our. So we still have this whole complex of storms heading our way. These are going to be the main severe thunderstorms with damaging winds attached to them. Here's a view. Let me turn off the lighting because it is kind of overwhelming there. See what we're dealing with in St. Louis because these are the storms that are going to be heading our way. And again, many of those are severe as well. Storms are moving northeast, so they should generally follow the Illinois River northeastward. Let's do another vertical slice through this storm and see if we have any more hail that's been lofted up. I'm not seeing as much anymore as we were earlier, between 20 and 30,000 feet. So it looks like most of that hail may have reached the ground. Looks like there's still a little bit up in there, between 10 and 20,000 feet right there. So that'll be something to keep an eye on. Peoria, we're getting a good downpour. Same story in Washington. But those are not severe. The severe stuff is in the southern part of Tazewell County and in northern parts of Logan County. Moving into McLean. So if you're in the Bloomington Normal area, you need to be paying attention for the next hour or so as these move in. I think we're going to have a lot more coming your way, though, throughout the night. Rainfall rates so far, amounts in the last 3 hours. We're starting to get to that level where as more rain moves in, there will be some flash flood concerns. So VIPIR estimating 1 to 2 inches there in extreme southeastern parts of Tazewell. Our flood product would be highlighting areas that are most likely to see some flooding. Maybe some urban ponding at this point. If you're in the control room, just a heads up, Adam is trying to find a spot to pull over. I think he's got a view of the storm. He might be sending us back something through TVU. I'm going to play this back. Looks like this storm trying to bring in some supercellular characteristics in eastern Tazewell, but it's not quite there. Meanwhile, you can clearly see where we're getting the stronger winds now between Emden and Hartsburg. So that is where we would be looking at some of the 60-mile-per-hour gusts here, or at least on the leading edge of that. We've got a new advisory. This has been issued by the Weather Service, significant weather advisory for southeast Tazewell and southwestern McLean counties. So Bloomington, Normal, Minear, Danvers, Stanford, and Shirley. 50-mile-per-hour gusts are possible with the storm just to the north of this one, or northeast of this one. So watch for this cell coming into McLean County. 50-mile-per-hour gusts are possible. And our cameras in Bloomington, they point more to the west. I wish we could turn them slightly to the left here, because then we'd have a view of that cell, but not yet. It looks like those storms may pass south of the camera's view. Severe thunderstorm warning for southern Tazewell County. Let me go over some of the locations included within this. It also includes for northern Logan County. You're looking at Delavan, Armington, Emden, San Jose, Hartsburg. Does not include Minear, does not include Hopedale. I will let me run the time on this now. We've got the storm has made enough progress. We're going to do two different ones here. One for the current severe thunderstorm, and we'll do another one for the other one just to the northeast of there. So this one's going to arrive in McLean around 8:09, Downs 8:31, Hayworth 8:34. And then for this next one, moving towards Bloomington, here's the timing on that one. That one will arrive there in Stanford. It's practically there. Normal 8:03, Danvers, 7:40, 8:03 for Bloomington, and normal Downs at 8:22. So that is the estimated time of arrival for that strong thunderstorm that has a special weather statement on it. Let me throw up our skits real quick here. This is VIPIR telling us general direction and motion and storm impacts from these cells. So hail size with that in far eastern McLean, not severe warned, is a ½ inch. Hail size has dropped off with a severe thunderstorm warning. That makes sense. We haven't seen a whole lot of hail in the last few scans in that storm. I'm going to take this scan up higher. Bear with me while I kind of scan through a few different things here. Radar site's a little close to this cell, and then we've got all the wind turbines out there causing some interference. Now, there might be some weak rotation right along 155 there near Hartsburg. That would be on the gust front. Anyway, severe thunderstorm warning continues until 8 p.m. In the control room, if you can, Adam has his shot up and running. If you can put it on the sports monitor for me. Yeah, we got Adam live out in the mobile storm tracker. Shear rate is going to be indicating where we have some of those stronger winds. Again, right along that Tazewell, Logan County line. That is where you're going to be looking at some of the stronger winds from this thing. And let's go ahead and take Adam's feed if we could. Perfect. So right there, that's the feed from meteorologist Adam Sherwinski. He's gotten ahead of the storm and he's looking back into it. I don't know of his exact location. I'll try to find out though, but he's ahead of the cell, probably in northern Logan County at this point. But you can see a well-defined, you see a shelf cloud off in the distance there. And You'll notice, though, how hazy the imagery is. That's due to all the moisture in the air. Even the lens is starting to fog up a little bit. The low cloud bases are part of the concern. All right, let's come back to Lynx 1 real quick. Thank you. Seeing some very strong winds now. Northern Logan County, extreme southern parts of Tazewell County. These areas highlighted here are the ones that are most likely experiencing some of the stronger wind gusts. So that's going to be Emden down through Hartsburg. That severe thunderstorm warning continues for another 20 minutes. It is still warned for quarter-sized hail, which is 1 inch in diameter, and 60-mile-per-hour wind gust. Thanks, Sean. Yep. Thank you. He is northeast of Atlanta, looking back towards the cell. And if we can, let's go ahead and take Adam's feed again. Yeah, this is that severe thunderstorm warning that that severe thunderstorm we're watching. If we could take Adam's TVU shot in the control room. There we go, thank you. So there are some clouds that are kind of lowering in the distance there. They look more like scud clouds and shelf clouds as opposed to anything tornadic, but it is watching. He's got something centered up there right in the middle of the screen that'll be worth keeping an eye on. All right, let's go ahead and bring it back to Lynx 1 if we could. Yeah, monitoring an area of rotation just south of Hartsburg. Now, we saw this earlier with an elevated scan. I'm going to circle it right in near. So that's going to be an area to watch. Got an unconfirmed report of a funnel cloud there. And that is south of Hartsburg. Latest scan shows it is no longer there. So I don't know if the spotter out there has it. We'll see if we can get Adam to drive a little further south. All right, let's keep an eye on this other stuff moving through McLean County. Logan County is certainly the strongest storm in the area. You can kind of see a little bit of a little hook in there. That's going to be worth watching. Activity moving into southwestern parts of McLean County is not severe warned for the time being, but it could be producing 50-mile-per-hour gusts. We'll go ahead and loop this over the last hour. You can see how these storms have been moving. Really starting to see some of that rain really filling in from southeast Tazewell into southwest McLean. Severe thunderstorm watch remains in effect until 11 p.m. Let me bring that up. All right, that includes Schuyler, Fulton, Peoria, Mason, Tazewell, Woodford, Logan, McLean, Livingston, and DeWitt counties. Keep in mind, flash flood watch does continue. That continues until 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. Storms are going to continue to produce some very heavy rain. Adam Sherwinski reporting a lot of lightning, and you can certainly see that. Adam's northeast of Atlanta. He's going to drop south and try to intersect that interesting part of rotation there in Logan County. If you have any storm reports, please let us know in the chat. We'll see if we can get, when Adam gets in position, we'll see if he can pull up his feed. He's going to drop south of Atlanta on 55. And we'll see if we got a good view of that cell coming in. So if anything is going to pop up, Adam will be there. Chuck Fudge reporting wind and extreme rain in McLean, Tazewell County line. That was 8 minutes ago. Extremely heavy rain in Easton, Mason County. Getting reports now 2 miles northeast of Hartsburg of a rotating wall cloud. Again, Adam is going to be in position for that. See if we can pull that up on velocity, if it's going to show up. It's a bit of a challenge so close to the radar site. So let me go up higher into the storm. If it's there, if these are unconfirmed reports, but if it's there, it's going to be in this vicinity, just immediately southeast of Hartsburg. That storm remains severe thunderstorm warned until 8 p.m. Quarter-sized hail, 60-mile-per-hour wind gust. No tornado warning yet. No tornado tag on this cell yet either. Some folks were asking if Peoria was going to get anything. This is the activity we're waiting on to move in. Right now, it looks like the worst of this is probably headed more towards Bloomington than I'd say Peoria, but we should see an uptick in storm activity around Peoria as well as this all moves in. That appears to be a destructive line of thunderstorms coming in out of the southwest. All right. Focus back on our one severe warned thunderstorm here. We'll track this out. Storm is moving east at 30, or I think it's 25. And we'll add a few more communities to that list. Union, it is there. Armington, 751. Atlanta, 809. McLean, 811. Funks Grove, 814. Hayworth, 835. The severe thunderstorm warning continues. Those without power, if we can, if somebody in the newsroom is watching, can give me some updates on power outages in the region. We do have more storms coming in for Havana. These storms all to your southwest are moving your direction. Let's pull up FUTURETRACK. If you are curious about storm timing, this is what you'll want to pay attention to. But storms are gradually going to increase. So I'd say for Peoria, probably by 10 o'clock is when we get these storms. It may even happen a little bit earlier. I think the storms are coming in faster than advertised by this particular model. But storm coverage certainly increases, and the storm motion is accurate. It's moving to the northeast. Worst comes through midnight, and then there's going to be some potential, just some heavy downpours to get us through the rest of the night. And by 7 o'clock, that activity is done. But we could be in for another round tomorrow afternoon. I'm starting to get concerned about the amount of rain that we are seeing across Tazewell and McLean counties. Here's a look at the 3-hour rainfall totals. So it looks like about 1 to 2 inches already across southern Tazewell County. And with more on the way, that is likely going to lead to some flash flooding, if not now, later tonight as the next round of heavy rain moves in. So flash flood concerns are going to start to really ramp up for those in Tazewell and McLean, along with Mason counties throughout the evening. I'm going to take a look at some updated flash flood guidance to see what the ground is able to hold right now. If you are getting reports of flash flooding, hail, let us know. It's all useful. Based on flash flood guidance, the ground can take in about 1 to 2 inches in an hour and about 2 inches in a 3-hour period. So it is quickly reaching that threshold. So I would imagine here with the next batch of rain coming in out of the southwest, we're going to get some flash flooding in Tazewell County, in these areas that have already seen this heavy rain. Our heavy rain product will highlight those areas that I'm more concerned about. All right, got some updates on power outages. There are about 300 people without power in Havana, a few without power in Emden and south of Delavan. So thanks for that report in the control room. Storm now looks to be moving more due east, and we are getting now some well-defined rotation here. We may get a tornado warning east of Hartsburg. There it is. That's a severe thunderstorm warning with tornado possible tag. So, severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible. Getting a report of a funnel cloud 3 miles north of Lincoln. Severe thunderstorm warning is now issued. This includes far southern parts of McLean County, northwestern parts of DeWitt. If we could, we need to do another cut-in for those in the control room. Thank you. Yeah, we do have some, this is a tag with tornado possible in this warning. So if you are in the Atlanta area, be aware, we do have unconfirmed reports of funnel clouds, but we are seeing rotation on radar where that unconfirmed report is coming from. And meteorologist Adam Sherwinski is in the area and in position for that cell. So if we can get a shot up and running, we'll let you know. And shear rate, that is going to be identifying that area of rotation right there. And that is real close to the radar site. So the radar, that rotation is going to be really, really low to the ground. Based on our radar beam height, that is going to be 252 feet off the ground. So if that rotation continues to pick up, we may get a tornado warning out of that. Okay. All right, folks, watching on the live stream, screen went to black. We are getting ready to cut in. Good evening. I'm your local weather authority, Chief Meteorologist Chris Yates, with an update on a severe thunderstorm warning, which has just now been extended eastward to now include northeastern parts of Logan County and extreme southern parts of McLean County. Damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour, quarter-sized hail, but also tornado possible with this. We do have some unconfirmed reports of funnel clouds associated with this cell just north of Lincoln, and we can actually get a pretty good estimate or a good view of that rotation showing up on radar, and you can see that right in here. This is going to be just to the west. There's Interstate 55. Just to the west of 55 is that area of rotation. If you're in Atlanta, McLean, Waynesville, need to be seeking shelter. Prepare for some strong winds. Tornado is possible with this, so if the rotation tightens back up, we could see a tornado warning issued a little bit later on as the storm continues to progress eastward. For now, it is warned for 60-mile-per-hour winds. Hail up to an inch in diameter, and again, potential for a brief tornado as the storm tracks east. To give you a point of reference, Bloomington, this storm is not heading in your general direction. Bloomington is right here. This storm is going to track just to your south, but we are also seeing some very, very heavy rain moving into southwestern parts of McLean County. That rain is likely to continue, and flash flooding is certainly going to be possible. More storms coming out of the southwest that we'll need to keep an eye on. I think the flash flood threat really starts to increase over the next couple of hours in Tazewell, McLean, and back in the northern parts of Logan County. We're going to continue this storm coverage. Again, you can find it on our website, ciproud.com. We've also got this coverage going on Facebook, as well as our CI Proud to Go weather app. Severe thunderstorm warning in effect for southern McLean, northeastern parts of Logan County, and northwestern parts of DeWitt County through 9 o'clock. For more coverage, check out the live stream on Facebook and our CI Proud to Go weather app. For WMBD WYZZ, I'm Chief Meteorologist Chris Yates. All right, folks, when you guys get a chance, hopefully Adam will get a good view of that. If you can get his shot back up when he's got it back up. Yeah. He's in the right spot, so we'll see if he gets anything from it.
If that's up, then he should already be attached, so whenever he just powers back up.
Okay. All right, keeping an eye on Adam. Adam is concerned if there is anything, it's going to be rain wrapped based on his vantage point. Let me zoom back in here, and we'll see. Keep an eye on that rotation. The rotation was brief. It's not quite as strong, but we're getting a lot of wind out of this. So strong winds pushing into the Atlanta area. We've got a new, let me see what that report was for. All right, that was for a storm outside of our viewing area. Watching some very strong winds. There's a couple of areas of interest east of Hartsburg and again just immediately north of the Atlanta area. Now you can be looking at some strong wind gusts. Also looking at what looks to be a downburst signature here in southwestern parts of McLean. Wind moving away and then like so. And so you're going to get some of that strong wind there in Atlanta. Might be getting some weak rotation just to the northwest of Hayworth. Let's move the camera over there. Again, this is not part of a warned thunderstorm, but there is some weak rotation with that cell as well. So a lot of storms to keep an eye on. It seems that these storms that are on this boundary here in McLean County are all briefly spinning a little bit. Briefly being the key word. It doesn't seem to persist very long, but it is interesting. Big concern here for flash flooding. We'll take our camera view into Bloomington. As the heavy rain continues to move in, that's only going to ramp up here over the course of the next hour. And keep in mind, there's a lot more rain to the southwest. All this activity is moving generally to the northeast. We do have a tornado warning, but that is for areas to our east, right along Interstate 57. You can see that populate out there. That is to the west of Watseka. So severe thunderstorm warning. This is the only warning in our immediate viewing area. Runs until 9 o'clock. That is for northeast Logan, southwest McLean, and northwest DeWitt. Marcia, Adam is out on the mobile storm tracker, and as soon as he gets a feedback up and running, we'll put it back up. High winds reported near the Bloomington Airport. Julie reporting almost 4 inches of rain in southern Tazewell outside of Delavan. All right, we'll take an eye, keep a look on the wind here with this. I'm going to take a look higher up into the scan, see if we can get some of the, if there's any rotation higher into the storm. And I'm not seeing it. This looks to be very outflow or very wind related. This is a very wind driven storm at this point. Getting a new update. Strong winds just north of Atlanta. We'll pull up our shear rate. Those areas highlighted here, while we use it to define rotation, it has multiple uses. So let's kind of go over what this means, because if you're new to watching our severe weather coverage. This is what shear rate means. It is the change of wind shear from scan to scan. When we start to see lines of strong to extreme shear like this, that's a pretty good indication of a straight line wind threat. And so what you are seeing out here, for instance, is a straight line wind threat. Out here is a straight line wind threat. And same, mainly some downburst type winds east of Hartsburg. Could be getting a new area of, looks like that rotation may be starting to pick up a little bit. We're getting more of an inflow here. So that'll be the area to watch. It doesn't look like this is moving much over the last few minutes. It's moving very slowly to the east. But the inflow appears to be picking up a little bit. As long as the storm is ingesting warm, humid air, it'll continue to, it'll either hold on or intensify. I'm going to track that one area of concern there. If that rotation were to evolve into something and track east, this is the estimated time of arrival. So Atlanta 8:21, McLean 8:31. And we're now getting some rotation north of Hayworth. Again, we mentioned that earlier. Rotation starting to pick up a little bit there. Here it is. This is just off of 51. It is moving towards 51, south of Bloomington. No warning on it yet, but the Weather Service has commented that they are watching it. Meanwhile, in Bloomington, some very heavy rain at this point. Let's track we're going to track that area of rotation to the northeast at 25. So here's an approximate arrival time with that area of concern. Downs 8:28, Leroy 8:42. Again, that is not currently warned, but the Weather Service has mentioned they are watching it. Meanwhile, across northern Logan County, where our severe thunderstorm warning is in effect, that is in effect until 9 p.m., very broad rotation east of Hartsburg, north of Lincoln. Looks like that storm is going to have a lot of wind on the back side of it. Radar is clocking it at 61 miles per hour, moving towards the radar site. So that would be wind moving this way, 61 miles per hour. The cell in Logan County is moving due east at about 25. The storm north of Hayworth is moving east-northeast at 25. Now let's pull up our skits. We'll let those update a little bit. pull those back in a bit. So here's the first cell we're concerned about. This one has some rotation with it, moving east at 25. I'm going to extend that track a bit. So there's the estimated time of arrival for the storm that is currently severe. Again, that is for northeast Logan, southwestern parts of McLean. I know southwest McLean's already getting hit with some very hard rain, but there's an area of rotation that is in Logan County. If it drifts northeastward, it would head in your direction. But right now, it looks like it's moving more due east. We'll bring in some other locations here. Okay, so that's the first one. That is the one that is currently severe. Let's go back to the storm that's north of Hayworth that has shown some signs of rotation. We'll circle that area of rotation here. It is about to cross 51. That is going to move it, put it towards Downs and Leroy. So let's time that out. Downs 826, Leroy 840. That is the approximate arrival time for that cell. Again, that does not include Bloomington. Bloomington would not be impacted by either of these pockets of rotation. For Bloomington, it's real heavy rain at this point and some gusty winds. What you heard was another tornado warning being issued, again, east of our viewing area. That is just to the west-northwest of Watseka. We'll pull up our Bloomington camera. Again, heavy rain, at least our camera is on the north side of town. It is not getting hit by the extreme rain that's falling just south of this view. And last I checked, I believe our camera in Normal was down. May have lost power. Oh, might be back. There we go. So there's the view in Normal. Rain is the main concern right now for Bloomington and Normal. We'll show rainfall amounts over the last 3 hours out of this. We are getting numerous reports, our estimates here. 1 to 2 inches. There's going to be some pockets of closer to 2.5 in Tazewell. And we've gotten reports of Clover approaching 4, which is certainly possible. It's with the extreme heavy rain that's falling there, I wouldn't rule that out. Instantaneous rainfall rates. This is showing rain coming in over, 6 inches an hour, 4 inches. That's the instantaneous rate. So if it were to rain like that for an hour, that's how much rain you'd pick up. Take a look at the bigger picture further north. No concerns right now for severe weather. We could see, eventually you're going to see this activity moving northward. It should weaken with time, however. But it is still going to produce a lot of rain. These storms that are now coming, crossing 72, are moving northeast. And I think, unfortunately, for this activity near Beardstown, it is going to be moving over areas like Bloomington, like southern Tazewell County, northern parts of Logan County. So flash flooding is going to be a big concern east of the Illinois River here in the next few hours. All right, any rotation with this storm in Logan County is approaching 55. Rotation does not look as organized north of Hayworth, approaching Downs. Still something to keep an eye on, though. Hail swath. We haven't seen any hail recently out of the storm in Logan County. That is mainly a wind event at this point. Again, we had some quarter-sized hail reported near Delavan earlier. There could be some hail embedded within this stuff in southern McLean County. It looks like it'll be small if it's there at all. All right, so this is our severe thunderstorm warning. That'll run us till the top of the hour. National Weather Service in Chicago confirms a tornado that is east of our viewing area, but they do have a confirmed tornado on that storm that is tornado warned. That is to the northwest of Watseka, up in that area. A lot of this, again, continues to move this general direction, moving to the northeast. So areas that have already had heavy rain will likely see more heavy rain. You'll get some good downpours to the west in parts of Fulton, Peoria County. Right now, those storms do not look like they'll be severe. I think the main concern for severe weather is going to be with these storms right along this boundary here. So anything along that line is where you're going to see most of your severe weather tonight. That said, I still wouldn't, I'm not saying coast is clear, but I think that's where bulk of that severe weather is going to be. We do have that severe thunderstorm watch that continues until 11 tonight for most of the region. It looks like we've got a new severe thunderstorm warning. This is for Cass, Menard, Morgan, and Sangamon. Let's bring that back. It's going to be for that cell coming out of the southwest. So there you go. So new severe thunderstorm warning. This is for southern fringes of our viewing area. That runs until 9 p.m. as well. That warning is for 60-mile-per-hour wind gust. Still seeing some broad rotation out of this storm in Logan County. This is just south of Atlanta, northeast of Lincoln. It's very broad, but it is there. I'm going to look higher up into the storm. You can probably see a little bit more of it. North of Hayworth, something to note. There is some broad rotation here, but that rotation is aloft. It's elevated. So what you're seeing with this scan, that is about 3,500 feet up above the ground. So that's quite elevated. It's weak. And if we were to look down at the surface, you probably won't even see it at all. Now there is some in there. It looks like it's still holding on there. We'll keep an eye on it. Shear rate's going to hone in on it, so there you go. We are getting some rotation down north of Hayworth. So that continues to kind of pulse up again. Heavy rain continues in Bloomington. Pull up our Bloomington camera. This is in normal. A lot of lightning. We'll leave that up for a moment. All right. So far, areas further west. If you are curious about Peoria through Havana, so far nothing to worry about. We're going to keep an eye on these storms coming out of the south, but I think most of this stronger activity is going to be moving towards Interstate 55. So that's the latest on that. You're still going to see an uptick in storm coverage over the next couple of hours. I think the worst of this passes east of the Illinois River. All right, we might have a new warning. Warning continues. Severe thunderstorm warning for Logan, DeWitt, and McLean. Tornado possible, and 60-mile-per-hour winds. Let me see if they've adjusted the speed on that storm. Again, that warning continues until 9 o'clock. And now they've got it clocked at 15 miles per hour. So very, very heavy rain is going to be a problem with this. I'll extend that out a little bit more. So Atlanta 828, Waynesville 850. Meanwhile, west of Downs, no severe thunderstorm warning, but still watching an area of broad rotation. Does not appear to be an immediate threat. There's your estimated time of arrival with that. Main concern for Bloomington normal right now is going to be the flash flood potential. That is the greatest concern. The worst of any of these storms as far as rotation or wind will be passing south of Bloomington. You'll still get some gusty winds within the heavier rain, but I think the severe stuff is going to remain south. You can see now VIPIR picking up on that rotation that I was just highlighting. You can see that rotation. It is circled there. All right. Turn off that marker. And you can see the rotation started to pick up there. We've got a pretty good wind moving towards the radar site and then picking up, moving out and away from the radar site. That is just west of Downs. Shear rates started to pick up and highlight that area of concern. That That rotation seems to be tightening up a little bit now over Downs. We're getting some faster velocities. You can see the brighter pinks showing up and then the brighter greens just southwest of Bloomington. This thing, if it does start to spin up, it's probably going to take more of a turn to the east, so I'll clock it that way. Downs, 834. Leroy, 849. Our shear rate product is identifying where we have some of that rotation that's starting to tighten up there, right along Interstate 74 to the west of Downs. Meanwhile, further to the southwest, severe thunderstorm warning until 9 p.m. This is for northeast Logan, western DeWitt. We'll continue to watch other storms coming in from the southwest. I think these are going to be moving out towards Bloomington. They'll probably follow Interstate 55 northeastward. We'll see storms and heavy rain increasing in areas like Peoria, Havana, Beardstown, and Macomb. But right now it looks like the worst of this is going to stay to our east. I know some folks in the chat are asking about that. Really good couplet now here. I wonder if we're going to get a tornado warning out of this. Our VIPIR tornado index is coming in at a 2.6, which is low, but given the environment, that's one of the higher values we have seen today. And so that tells me that this is going to be the storm to watch for a tornado warning. If you are in Downs, southeastern Bloomington, you need to be paying very close attention. We may get a tornado warning out of this as rotation continues to pick up. There's the area of rotation between Downs and Bloomington. Control room, heads up. We may be getting a tornado warning soon based on that couplet. They are going to issue a tornado warning. So control room, we need to do a cut-in. Tornado warning is coming out. If you are in Downs, you need to be seeking shelter immediately. Rotation has started to pick up immediately to your west. Southwest or southeast of Bloomington, the rotation for Bloomington downtown, it is 5-6 miles southeast of Bloomington. That is where we're seeing the rotation. Meanwhile, for Downs, it is 3 miles to the west and moving into town. You need to be seeking shelter immediately. Rotation has increased and a tornado warning is coming. We'll time this out. I believe storm's going to be moving to the east. We'll call it 20. 8:38, that is the arrival time in Downs. You need to be seeking shelter. Let's go ahead and cut in whenever they're ready. We don't. Okay, we don't need to wait for the warning. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Looks like we have that tornado warning now issued. I'm your local weather authority, Chief Meteorologist Chris Yates. We are tracking a severe thunderstorm that is capable of producing a tornado just to the west of Downs. You can see that rotation now really starting to show up here. Downs, the storm is headed for you. It'll be there 8:38, Leroy 8:56. The tornado warning now has officially been issued, and you can see that box there. So we are going to stay on air until this warning expires. Tornado warning now in effect for south portions of McLean County. This does not include Bloomington Normal, but we do have radar indicated rotation. Again, it is radar indicated rotation. No confirmed tornado yet, but it is moving towards Downs. Tornado warning is in effect until 9:15 p.m. Storm continues to track to the east. They have it mapped at 15 miles per hour. So we will track it east into Downs at 15 miles per hour. Now looking at 9:39, but I'd say you have less than 5 minutes to react to this if you are living in Downs. You need to be seeking shelter. Get to an interior room such as a bathroom or a closet if you do not have a basement. Get to the lowest floor of your building. Tornado warning now in effect. Tornado is possible at any moment with this storm moving into Downs. Leroy, looks like the rotation may pass to your north, but that would arrive at 9:04 if it happens to drift a little further south and east. They have sounded the sirens in Downs. Again, rotation, radar indicated rotation, possible tornado. Now moving towards Downs. We'll take a look at our correlation coefficient. We'll see if this we start to pick up a debris signature. So far, we are not seeing it, but rotation is really starting to pick up there. So a tornado is possible at any moment. That is just to the west of Downs by about 2 miles. If you find yourself in the vicinity of Downs, you need to be seeking shelter now. This does not include Bloomington Normal, but the tornado warning does include Leroy. It also includes areas just west of Ellsworth. So again, the rotation is about just over 2 miles to the west of Downs. There's that rotation we're seeing on radar. Green moving towards the radar site. Red is moving away. So this tornado warning is in effect until 9:15. For a point of reference, here's Bloomington Normal. Bloomington not included within the warning. Central Illinois Regional Airport's out in this area. Meanwhile, Downs, it is coming for you. You need to be seeking shelter. If we get a tornado, you may not necessarily see it coming. Let's take a look at our reflectivity. We'll get a sense of how much, if that is possibly rain wrapped or if it's going to be on the leading edge. So you are getting rain now pushing into Downs. The rotation is tucked away, so you're not going to see it. You need to be seeking shelter. Possible rain-wrapped tornado now moving in to Downs. There's the rotation with the storm. It is moving due east at 15 miles per hour. I would assume it is there at this point. If you are watching our coverage on Facebook, on any of our live streams, there's about a 1 to 2 minute delay, so you need to act now. You need to get to shelter. You need to get down in your basement if you live in Downs. Healthy rotation with this. It is just to the west of Downs. It is now beginning to cross Interstate 55, or 74, excuse me, and pushing into Downs. Let's take a zoom out real quick and show you other storms in the area. We've had other confirmed or severe thunderstorms moving through parts of Logan and DeWitt counties. This severe thunderstorm warning continues until 9 o'clock. Looks like that storm continues to gust out a little bit, but we'll keep a close eye on it as it continues to move east. We have seen this cell weaken a little bit in the last few scans. Main focus now continues to be in southeastern parts of McLean County. We are now getting some real good rotation showing up on radar. We've also got that rotation kind of tucked back away, but it is now moving over Downs. So if you are living in Downs, living in Leroy, you need to be getting downstairs into a basement or get down to your storm shelter. Here are some tips on safe places to be if you are trying to find a place to seek shelter. Let's go ahead and bring up our safe places here for this tornado warning. Here's a look at where to be. Places not to be. Mobile, manufactured homes, avoid them. Large open rooms, avoid them. Vehicles underneath overpasses. If you're watching the live stream in the car, do not stop under an overpass. You need to get to a sturdy shelter. All right, if more safe would be an interior room of a well-constructed home or building. If you are there, stay in place. Safest place to be is the basement or a tornado storm shelter. If you are there, stay in place. If you are watching us over the air and you need to seek shelter, you have a couple of options here. Turn up the TV volume really, really loud. Also, if you got a smartphone, tablet, grab it. Watch our live streams on either our apps or on social media, but understand those are going to be delayed by about 1 to 2 minutes, and take it down with you. All right, let's take a look at that rotation once again as it continues to move a little closer now into downs. In fact, it probably is already there. So we're going to zoom into downs, and we are for sure getting some very strong winds there. I'm going to try to get a closer view of this. Very strong winds and downs. McLean County EMA reporting so far no reports of a tornado, but they do have spotters watching the storms as it moves towards Ellsworth. Rotation has appeared to have broadened a little bit, meaning it's not as tight as it was, but you're still looking at a dangerous situation over downs. So remain in shelter. Tornado possible, not confirmed. But it is now moving over downs. Very strong winds likely. Tornado possible. Storm is now moving to the east at 15 miles per hour.